Hey up everyone, welcome back to the History of Football channel. Today on the channel I'll be doing a video about the Euros and in particular about Portugal in 2016 and their Euro triumph. Some people have described Portugal's win in the tournament as being the worst champions to ever win a major tournament, but today we're going to take a look back at their 2016 triumph and come to a conclusion. As a footballing nation, I've always considered Portugal to be a country that punches above their weight in footballing circles. They are a small country compared to some of the other heavy hitters. They only have a population of just over 10 million people. However, they've had some good moments in their history. They got third place at the 1966 World Cup. They got fourth place at the 2006 World Cup, and they've made a couple of semi-finals in the Euros and a couple of finals. I wasn't around for the 1966 World Cup, but I certainly remember the Euro 2004 final, which they lost against Greece. And I also remember the 2006 World Cup, where they got a fourth place finish. And in both of those tournaments, they had a really strong team. Now, ahead of Euro 2016, in 2012, they made the semi-finals. And for the qualifying campaign for 2016 Euros, they finished top with 21 points. They only lost the one match in qualifying, so they qualified easily for the tournament. At the tournament itself, if you look at the group there, you would have expected Portugal to probably finish top of that group, but they finished third. They got 3 draws. In their first group stage game, they struggled to get a draw against Iceland, who turned out to be one of the surprise packets of the tournament. They then had a goalless draw with Austria, who at that time, Austria were a decent side, but certainly not one that you would expect to get a result from a Portuguese team with some of the players that they had. And in the final group game, they had an entertaining 3-3 draw with Hungary. Now, under the old European Championship rules, it was always the top 2 teams that went through to the next knockout stage round, but for this tournament was the first time ever that the third place team would qualify if they were one of the better third place teams in the group. Portugal were the 4th best third place team and they qualified for the knockout stages. In the opening knockout stage match where they played against Croatia, it took until the 117th minute for them to score and win the game 1-0 thanks to Ricardo Quaresma. In the quarter-final, they would play against Poland, where this match would go to penalties. They had to come from behind in that game. Lewandowski for Poland scored within the first couple of minutes, and Portugal equalised, took it to penalties, and they won that match on penalties in the end. In the semi-finals, they would play against another surprise packet in Wales, and they would beat them 2-0, and this was the only match in the tournament that they won in regulation time. And a lot of people said that with Portugal's side of the draw, they were on the weaker side of the draw. Obviously they played Croatia, who were a tough team, but then to play Poland and Wales compared to what the other side had to face, some people said it was an easier side of the draw. In Portugal's second European final, they played against one of the tournament favourites in France at the Stade de France, and once again Portugal could not win the match in regulation time. It took until the 109th minute where Eder scored the winning goal for Portugal to earn them their first ever major honour as a footballing nation. So when I say that Portugal are the worst ever team to win a major tournament, I probably would have to say yes, because under the old rules, if they would have finished third in, say, Euro 2012, they would have been knocked out. So they only got through to the knockout stage due to the change in the competition's format. Throughout the entire tournament, they only won the single match in regulation time, and that were against Wales. And either they got draws or they had to take the game to penalties or extra time. I've seen people debate online even to this day, and some people go, no, Portugal were not the worst team. Actually, Greece were the worst team because they played a boring defensive style of football. And when I remember Greece, at least with Greece, they won matches in regulation time. All 3 of their matches, including the final outside of the group stage, they won 1-0. So at least with them, they can say that they won matches without having to rely on penalties or extra time, whereas this Portugal team had to do that. So in my personal opinion, the Portuguese team of 2016 is the worst team to ever win a major tournament. But let me know in the comment section below, what did you make of this video? Do you think that Portugal are the worst team to ever win a major tournament? This isn't an attack against Portugal or Portuguese people. This is just my own personal opinion about that tournament and that team. So don't try to take it too personally. But I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, this has been History of Football, and I'll catch us all later in the next video. Alright, ta-ra for now.